When I get stressed, I get pimples. And I actually name my pimples after the stressor. I'm looking at you, Alan. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please think about sticking around, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Think about being part of this family because you know what? The Scooby Gang is pretty cool. Thank you for everybody who's been supporting me since day one and everybody who is brand new. I highly appreciate it and I love meeting new people. So thank you. Thank you for being on this journey with me. I encourage everybody to take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe, not just for myself, but for other people, including other YouTubers and small businesses. This really does mean a lot to us. So spread the love, spread the cheer, and share, share, share everywhere. So that was cute. I'm adorable. So today I'm going to try to do another channeling with Patsy Ramsey. And I have had some questions that were left to me to kind of guide or ask her about. Um, Again, I want to start with the disclaimer that this is for entertainment purposes only, and this is not meant to harm any person, living, dead, or any entity or anything like that. So, with that being said, I do also need to remind you that Spirit is under no obligation to talk to us. But Patsy was starting to open up the last time, so I will see what we can do. Um, so the first question that everybody had on their mind was about Burke. Burke is their Patsy and John's oldest child, who is, I think he was approximately 3 years older, 3.5 years older than Jean Vinet. Um, Everybody asks if Burke did it. The answer is no, he didn't. That's ridiculous. And people's theories, even now, are hurtful. You got to realize that Patsy, even though she has passed on, she is very heavenly. I don't know if that's a slip of the tongue. She is very heavily burdened by everything that's happened on this earth. She is still attached to this plane, and there's a reason for that. Patsy and Jean Vinet do see each other, but they aren't in each other's space, if that makes sense. Um, we'll talk about Jean Vinet because her feelings, her thoughts are completely different on this matter. But I think with Patsy, seeing it from adult perspective, because unfortunately, with Jean Vinet being a child when this happened, you're going to see more of it through a child's eyes, and there is a lot of room for error. But Patsy, as an adult, is actually literally putting me back in the mindset that I was the last video, which is amazing because that's been about a month ago, where she is showing me again a castle, like a stereotypical castle with guards. She very much says that her life was not her own when she was married to John. Um, I can't necessarily say that her life was really her own prior to that, but it really is just because she was coming into her own. You know, we all have our journeys, and she was still very young when she married John, and um, I don't think she was fully developed as a person yet. She still had a lot of living that she wanted to do. However, what she's telling me is she went from the same to the same. So she went from her home where, it was very man was in charge, woman kept their mouth shut and do what the man said. Woman is in charge of family, man goes out and takes care of the family. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. You know, to each their own, all good. But this is a pattern, this is a cycle for Patsy where she went from one situation, living at home with her parents and her dorm, to her sorority, to a very similar situation with her husband. Um, John Bonet, she was a surprise, apparently. Um, and that and that very well could just be due to her health. Because uh, because Patsy was really very, very sick for a long time, and she's telling me that she was a surprise. Like, they really didn't think they could have her. And she really looked at her as a doll, as a living doll. Um, it was really hard to pack in emotions with it. But kind of going back to the castle, the man's a man's home is the castle, is what I'm trying to get across. And she was a prisoner in this castle, but also a willing participant. So, what I mean by a willing participant is she looked the other way. She let her husband do whatever he wanted to do as long as she had her children and she was able to do the things that she wanted to do. Um, I don't, okay, well, she did love him. Um, and it was kind of a sick, sadistic kind of love. Um, I don't know what she means by that. She might explain it, she might not. But it was a very they were evenly matched in that area of their lives, as far as they had some very deep, dark energies, and they had some deep, dark habits. Now, Patsy's were different than what John's were. She went along with some of the things because she she was scared, but she also enjoyed it. Um, she's trying to make me see that she was not really a victim, nor was she happy about it either. But she didn't speak up. She didn't use her voice. She didn't say, "I don't like this." She did. Um, and that's a lot of stuff that's very, very personal that I don't necessarily want to get into because, that's a lot there. But there was also drug use, and she really doesn't want people to know about that. Uh, I think it would be understandable if it was for her cancer pain, but it wasn't. And it wasn't like she was doing anything like that. She was more of a Coke person. Um, she keeps telling me that she was out of her mind. Out of her mind. There were blackouts during her marriage, like severe blackouts, that she was what she calls completely out of her mind. She has very specific instances of memory loss. And this is not due to her health. This was not due to any of the treatments. People do have chemo brain, it's a real thing. Um, they forget things. They struggle to with short-term memory. It's a real thing, and that wasn't it. She had full-on blackouts of, she says, One time it lasted about 6 days where she literally didn't know what was happening. She didn't know if she got in the car and drove. She didn't know if she ate. She didn't know if she gave the kids a bath or fed them. She has no recollection of those days. And it was like she was on autopilot and she woke up from a dream. And I feel like she woke up from a dream and she was sitting. I feel like she was sitting in her kitchen eating, like eating cereal or something that she most likely wouldn't have eaten. And she would go through these blackouts several times. And it would be there to her, there was nothing that triggered it prior. It wouldn't be like words or um, it wouldn't be an argument or it wouldn't be due to drug use or alcohol. This would be times where she was stone sober and she would black out. And almost feel like this was brain issues. She probably had cancer in her brain, like tumors in her head, well before anybody realized that she did. Um, but I also think it was foul. I think there was something very amiss about this whole thing where she would black out for days and days and days and she's like, ouch, my back hurt, ouch, my back hurt, but she's pointing to like her lower back, so like her right buttock is basically what she's like, ouch, that hurt. um I don't know if she was being drugged by somebody, but it wouldn't surprise me, because she was guarded in her home. I keep, again, over and over and over again, I keep getting this image of a castle and guards. So it tells me that she was always guarded. She was always watched. She um it was under the guise of protection, but it wasn't. The children were also watched. It was always like there was somebody else in the house at all times. And I'm not talking about like people who worked there. I'm talking about eyes. I'm talking about people who were there supposedly for security. But when I mean eyes, had they had video cameras around that were for security, supposedly, but they really weren't used for that. And uh, Patsy describes it as a reality show. So I think she believes that her time, her life, everything that she was doing in the home was being videotaped. And it was something that was always held over her. It was like, I always have my eye on you. I always have my eye on you. I always know what you're doing. You know, you lay down and take a nap and you took a nap too long. You don't think that I know that you took a 2 hour nap and let the kids run around and do nothing that entire time? Do you think that I don't know that? I mean, this is the stuff that I'm hearing from her. And man, it's she wasn't a prisoner. She was a willing participant. She didn't do anything to stop this. She didn't do anything to make this go away. She really complied. She just went along with it. In the beginning of this whole situation that I'm trying to talk about, when cameras were installed in the house and around, she was okay with it because it was used for what it said it was supposed to be for. It purpose was for security. However, that did not last, and I really feel like there was like what she's calling an evil eye that was watching her at all points. Now, is some of this delusion? Possibly. She was a very, very sick woman and was um mentally unstable. But she wasn't mentally unstable prior to marrying John. She may have had bouts of depression and probably some, you know, anxiety, self-esteem disorders, but not anything that wouldn't be normal. I mean, mental health is very serious, guys, and take it very, very seriously. Um, I think if she would have gone down another path and not married John, she probably would not have suffered from the amount of paranoia and depression that she did. And she would have got sick anyway, which is what she keeps saying to me, that this sickness really didn't have anything to do with it until she willed it in. She really believed in the fairy tale, but she didn't notice that she was the big bad wolf, that they were the big bad wolf. They were the house of sweets. They were, and she's Hansel and Gretel up, man. She's telling me that, you know, they had the house of sweets. They were the ones that had the attractive place that kids wanted to come to, which is very interesting. Kids liked that home. I'm telling you this because they felt comfortable there for a very specific reason. And these were not children that were brought over with their parents uh, or both of their parents' consent. These were not kids that were playing with John Bonet and Burke. They were, that was weird. Everything's kind of going in and out of focus. Okay. They were not, they were trying to figure out how to say this. They were enticed there by adults, but the adults were enticed to bring them there as well. 99% of these cases of the kids being in this home, this castle, this gingerbread house, uh, it was relatives that were bringing them. Um, a lot of money exchanged. It was a lot of prep work. This is where her training, Patsy's training as a pageant queen, came in. She was part of the grooming process. She made things look attractive. She made the home look attractive. She made her husband look attractive. She made herself look attractive. She made her kids look attractive. Her house was welcoming. Her home was a home. It was anything but it was the illusion of a home, of a loving family, of perfectly, normal things that were happening. And I just really got a quick flash of, where did the animals go? I don't know if they had any animals, but I guess it's important to take a moment and try to figure out where the animals went. I don't know. Um, but she was part of the trickery. She was the witch in Hansel and Gretel. I don't know if she's just relating this to me because this is how I can connect with her, or if this is something that she really felt. Um, she was definitely, she'll just say, yeah, she was very deceiving. And she was okay with it until she wasn't. And the moment that she wasn't was when there was no turning back. There was a race for Jean Monet's life. Her death was set in motion before, you know, for a very long time. Patsy never got them out of it. She didn't get her kids out of it. And there is a part of her that doesn't regret it. Which I think this is where she just left, because that was a lot to say. Because I believe with every fiber of my being, with every circumstances that I have with her, that she 100% loved her kids. I don't doubt that at all. Um, but her love for John was more. And her fear of John and her awe of John, like it was an obsession. She was obsessed with her husband, and not in any good way at all. Um, it was desperation mixed with obsession and anxiety, and there wasn't anything that he could do or say that was wrong until it was. And then there was no way to turn back from that. So since she kind of pulled back her energy, I'm going to quickly apologize for my hair. And I am going to I will pick this up again because she's a difficult person to talk to, but not in the way that you think. She's not like difficult being mean. She only wants to give you spurts and then she goes. So, my shameless plug this week is me. I have a page on Facebook called Dreamsicles and Moonfire. I will leave the link down in the description box, but if you can see, I'm going to put a picture maybe here or maybe here or maybe here, with some of the cool stuff that I have, tarot cards, gems, incense, and more. You can also go on my website, www.lisatebrinke.com, and book a reading. You can get a reading from moi. So check out the details there. Check out the links in the description box. And a quick shout out to Melissa Blue Delish for my beautiful earrings. And not a spons, but awesome person. And I have all her stuff down in the description box as well. So until next time, every single day is a gift. Use your time wisely. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.